New Thought Media Network proudly presents Having Courageous Conversations, where real talk dives deep. Each week we go beyond surface talk. We open our hearts, speak our truths, and dive into the stories that shape us. No scripts, no filters, just powerful, unforgettable conversations about life, purpose, healing, and truth. Join the conversation, because your voice belongs here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel at Having Courageous Conversations or email us at yourshowyourvoice@gmail.com. Now, let's have a courageous conversation.
The views and opinions of our guest and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of New Thought Media Network, or any organization we may be affiliated with. Here at New Thought Media Network, we welcome freedom of speech and courageous conversations. There are many topics that can be difficult to navigate. Challenging the status quo and engaging in lively debate is important to expanding our understanding of one another, and life in general. Creating a peaceful world doesn't happen because no one disagrees, it happens from a willingness to understanding one another. In our programming, we strive to expand consciousness and assist people in creating remarkable lives. Your comments are welcome at info@ntmedia.org.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are joining us. Welcome to today's episode of Courageous Conversations. Having Courageous Conversations is a heartfelt, spirit-led online series where we explore the transformative power of honest dialogue. Rooted in authenticity, compassion, and spiritual awareness, this show invites voices from all walks of life to engage in meaningful conversations. And I am Cheryl Rogers, and I'm delighted to be your host today. My co-host Mark Dupuis will be back next week. But today I will be guiding this conversation with Josh Sherry, our wonderful guest. And Josh is a passionate naturalist and outdoor man who owns 7G Explorations, a graduate of Fanshawe College's Adventure Expedition and Interpretive Leadership Program. That's quite a mouthful, Josh. Josh founded 7G Explorations in 2024. His mission is to foster healthy and respectful connections between people and nature, while creating educational and employment opportunities within Indigenous communities. So welcome back, Josh. It's lovely to have you.
It is an absolute pleasure to be back. I really enjoyed the last conversation that we had.
Great. So today we're going to be talking about money addiction.
Yes, so this is a subject that I've been remunerating on for a very long time in my life. And it is nothing that I rehearse. This is not a script that I've written out. This is just raw opinion and thoughts on the subject itself after seeing what I've seen in my life and living the experiences that I've had. So by no means am I some type of economic guru or financial manager of some sort.
Yeah.
My understanding and the subject around this topic is literally the impact and the results that we've seen through currency being a prime driver in our society throughout human history.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at that history, we can see a very consistent pattern, no matter what timeline it's been implemented or what part of the world or region that it's been implemented in. We see shifts, we see change, we see a removal of self from community, we see a removal of self from nature, because we are no longer looking at those entities that exist naturally in human life anywhere you go as something that actually builds community. We look at it as a commodity. I'm making a social connection because this is going to help me in my career. I'm making a social connection because this is where I want to head for education. So we really start building these networks, not necessarily out of, creating that environment or a whole community. We create these networks, and everything that our choices are driven by are for our profitability. How is it going to advance our career? Even if something is happening that is wrong, people will still choose to not say anything because there is a threat to their financial security. So it becomes a barrier. As much as we like to play it up, that money, if I had X amount of dollars, it would completely change my life, and I would be able to blah, 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 and I could have a house and a boat and a car and a jet and all this other stuff. And it's like, but why do you need that?
Yeah.
Why, when we put money as a prime driver for everything that we do, we miss out on all the beautiful, subtle nuances that exist in this world, our connection with nature, our connection with self, which is our connection to everybody else around us. And like I had said in our last conversation, it is important for us that love leads the way. It's love for self. It's love for my community. It's love for my planet that drives what I want to do. I don't make my decisions based off of how much money I'm going to get. In a capitalistic society, money is required. That's why they have welfare systems and other programs to keep money flowing into your accounts, because they need you to have it for their system to function.
That's why they have immigration.
Absolutely. We see, and like even in our last discussion when we were talking about capitalism riding colonialism as a horse into the continents and the territories of the people that it wanted to oppress. And that was exactly it, because they got a whole bunch of resources, land, territory, all of this stuff for free. They didn't have to pay a fair price. They didn't have to enter negotiations or be honorable or respectful or connective. It was, I want your stuff, so we're going to kill you and take it. And every treaty agreement that we've seen happen between any type of colonial structure and any type of indigenous population around the world, those treaties are quickly broken because they don't want the accountability, because it comes with a financial number. Even when you see treaty resolutions happening to this day in our society for indigenous people, the Robinson-Huron Treaty, you're giving a massive amount of money to communities that have been severely underserved for centuries. And what do you think happens in those communities that are already dealing with addictions and alcohol and suicide, just from the colonial-based trauma that they've received through generations? That money is a tool for sickness. It just drives them further down those paths. They don't have a healthy connection with self, nature, their culture, identity, safety, love, all of those basic things that humans, and we call it basic things, but those are required, significant things that a human being needs in their life. There's nothing basic about them. Love is an incredibly powerful energy that we can give to this world, and you can create monumental change with it more than you can with money. So when we look at money as an addiction, when I talk about that, we look at the symptoms through corporate leadership, the financial institutions, our government, and we look at the decisions that are made, the behaviors that are conducted are the exact same behaviors that you would see from somebody who is trying to, say, get their hands on methamphetamines or opioids or any of those other extremely addictive narcotics. You become a product of that. We have programs in our society that can help you with coffee addiction, cigarette addiction, porn addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, but we have absolutely no programs for money addiction. And we have everybody out there running around making their decisions, doing everything they do in their life to get that paper, to make that money so I can have these things and live this life. And even when you get to those spots, when you get those things, the more that you have in your life just means it's more cost in your life. You become a prisoner of all of the things that you own, because now you need to maintain more money to keep everything that you have and buy more and maintain all of the things that you have, because any mechanical object on the planet made by man, it's designed to fail. Nothing lasts forever. So you're going to have to spend money on that, insurances, permits, this. So we have all these industries to really lean into you having this addiction to money because it's extremely beneficial to them. But we don't have any programs to say, hey, here's a healthier way to view your life. Money is just a byproduct. If you are a kind, decent, hardworking person, you show up, you do your best, then people want you around.
Yes.
If you are a hate-filled, bigoted individual who has very negative opinions and views about just basic concepts of human decency, then nobody wants you around. It's going to be really hard for you to find an environment unless you find people with like-minded ideologies to get you to actually produce income in your life.
Yeah,
Or you turn to
absolutely.
addictions, homelessness,
Yeah.
a whole slew of other things that degrade us as a society, as a species, not a race, not a gender, nothing. Human beings in total as a whole, we need to be together. It's scientifically proven if we are isolated for a long enough period of time, we have no human contact, we will die of loneliness.
Yeah.
We will go insane first, and then we will die of loneliness. So we have all of these signs in actual like science and history and fact for human behavior, but yet we drive everything away from that and lean towards money because it's
Yeah.
an addictive substance.
Yeah. And it's man-made. The whole system is man-made,
Absolutely. Yep.
right?
It's built off of an IOU that they
Yeah.
wrote to themselves that they never intend to pay back.
Yeah.
If I do a lot of naturalistic talks on our tours, and one of the statements or questions I like to pose to people is, if I were to strip every single plant and animal off the planet, make the earth no longer doing its job, but I put $4 million in your account, how long do you think you can survive?
Yeah.
Now, okay, I strip all of the money from your accounts and I give you every single plant that you need for medicine, healthy waterways, forests filled with wild game and just natural ecosystems. How long will you last?
Yeah.
Generations. My
Absolutely.
ancestors did it. Your ancestors did it. Pre-colonization, pre-capitalism, every single society of human being on this planet governed themselves with their connection to the earth around them, the cycles of the sun, the moon, the stars, celestial bodies in certain positions in the sky meant something. We had temples built to finitely and accurately connect to celestial bodies in the stars. We were so connected to our home that money was inconsequential. We were more like trees than we were a capitalistic society. And trees, the beautiful thing about trees is they can identify every single sapling that grows around them in that forest, to the degree that if that sapling came from a seed from my tree, a seed from another tree, but of the same species, or if you're a tree of a completely different species. Now, the beautiful thing about trees is they share nutrients to every single thing around them. The tree understands innately, because it's a part of a healthy ecosystem. If everything around me is healthy, then I myself am healthy.
Yeah.
So we didn't wake up in the morning to go hunt or gather or farm or do anything that we did in our society so that we could come back and be like, hey, check out my new Bugatti. Nobody cared. It was, hey, you know what? I'm fulfilled and I'm purposeful because I just fed everybody I love.
Yeah.
All of those people that play with my children, that live in my community, that help me out here on a daily basis, I did it for them. You want fulfillment and purpose in life. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from ownership, title, possession. All of those things are just fallible. They're make believe. They don't last. They're going to fail you. And the one thing that never fails you is the earth, is this planet. So when we talk about money addiction, we're talking about a degradation to our ecosystem. And you can see direct correlations with that when we see environmental disasters happen and companies trying to wash their hands of it and walk away because the board members don't want to lose too much money. We see this like massively underpinned negative connotation with how we govern ourselves with money. And even though we have the scientific evidence to prove that, making these decisions based off of that fact is not a good way for humanity to move forward. We have climate scientists all over the world saying like, hey, if we don't change how we do things, everybody's dead. Your entire planet is going to die. And yet here we are still chasing out. So you can't tell me that it's not an addictive substance if you're willing to go to those extremes after knowing what you know, hearing from educated, qualified individuals saying like, man, we really need to protect what we have, and just looking out at nature itself when they're cutting down forests, when they're mining open pits, when they're destroying environments for rare earth minerals so they can lead the next charge into the economic wave, because our country isn't measured on decency amongst each other. It's measured on your GDP. That's a country's success. So you've instantaneously limited an entire nation due to an addiction to money. And then you see that domino effect through every single service that we have. Doug Ford and his addiction to money, all the jobs he's given to his buddies, and the amount of pockets that we line. Our government isn't even a democracy. It's a lobbyist system. So the government who's in power is going to give their buddies who got them in power all of these handouts and help, and the people get scraps.
Yeah.
They get their OSAP cut. They get this funding cut, the education dollars cut, they take away libraries. So all the things that truly give you development, healthy communication with other human beings, the ability to truly grow society, and they attack that so that they can feed their friends. It's not a democracy because they're not doing it for the people. If it was a government for the people to make the best decision for the country, the only decision you're making is for your GDP. So you have an entire system of addicts making excuses to make decisions based from an addictive perspective, because every single one of those people in that building are wearing very nice suits, driving very nice cars, and living in very nice houses. Is that the typical way for living in people in our country? No. Most people are barely getting by.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have to live their life addicted to money. And you see that stress play out when they can't get the substance that they need to satiate themselves. It's stress, it's anxiety. They go through withdrawals. Oh man, I need a way to make money. I gotta find a way to get money. And it's not because they're like, oh man, I'm gonna do crazy stuff with it. It's I gotta pay bills.
Yeah, they got to survive in this whole system.
Yeah, I gotta eat. So it's not coming from a position, but our entire structure.
Yeah.
The people at the top who are the most addicted to this substance have made it so we have to be dependent on it as well.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of the Indian Act. It was the whole point of reservations. It was the whole point of colonialism. Every single terrible act that's happened throughout human history on every single continent to every indigenous people. When Rome colonized Europe, it was the exact same thing. It's never brought positivity or growth to a nation. It brings it fractured separatist segments where they hate on each other to the point where you're willing to kill each other. And we tell our children in kindergarten, keep your hands to yourself. We don't want to hit people. We want to talk through our problems. We use nice voice and we don't judge them because they may look different. But then we become an adult and it's like, screw all that, give me money. What do I have to do? I'll kill some kids. I'll blow up hospitals. I'll whatever. I don't care. Just give me money. And they feel like somehow justified to make those decisions, to behave in that way. And the only mental connection that I can make to it is they are addicted.
Yeah.
They're making these choices because they're addicted to this substance.
Well, they're addicted in order to survive, right?
Well, we are on our level, but the people further up, as you go up this chain in a capitalistic society, then it becomes, I need more. I need more.
You think you're going to be happy at this level, but when you get there, it's not enough. I need more. And when you get there, I need more.
Cars. I need bigger house. I need a bigger property. I need to be able to take bigger trips and have more time off and do, well, everybody else is doing the lion's share of the work. And
Cogs in a
What
wheel.
do you really truly add at that level to society?
Yeah.
Can you fix a house?
Yeah.
Can you fix someone's car? Can you
Yeah.
take care of the elderly?
Mhm.
Do you know anything about your environment?
Mhm.
No, they don't really have skills that are quantifiable or meaningful to actual existence. The more
Mhm.
we learn to be capable, self-sufficient, developing our skills, learning from all those wonderful people that come into our lives, even if it's a negative experience, you're still learning something.
Mhm.
Trauma has a 50-50 path. When you experience a traumatic event, your choices are simply limited to: this hurt me. I didn't like how it made me feel, and I don't want to ever make anybody else feel that way.
Mm.
Or this hurt me. It hurt me so bad. I need everybody else to feel my pain.
Mm.
So we either lash it out or we internalize it and we strive, even though other people are battering down on us, and we still won't treat those other people like that.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing when it comes to that addiction to money.
Mhm.
Are you going to let it rule your life and make every decision for you?
Mhm.
Or are you going to let it be a byproduct of the decisions that you make?
Yeah.
Separate yourself from its ability to control you. My professor Robin Tapley at my Fanshawe program, that was one of the things that he said to us during the class. He goes, I don't ever make a decision based off of how much money I'm going to get from doing this job or
Yeah.
facilitating this program. What's it going to give me an experience?
Mm.
Do I get to see more of the world? Do I get
Mhm.
to learn more about the people that I inhabit this world with me? Do
Mhm.
I get to learn more about ecosystems from all over the world and animal species and share my passion from where
Beautiful.
I'm from?
Yeah.
Creating true human connection. And the man has become quite successful doing what
Mhm.
he does and
Mhm.
extremely intelligent.
Yeah, and
So
he's doing
really
what he
what is
loves.
that
He's
fast
doing what he
forward?
enjoys, right? He's
Absolutely.
doing, yeah, and that's one of Unity's principles or belief systems is we need to do what we love in order to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
In order to bring joy into our lives, it's no good slogging over a job, like
Yep.
you say, just to survive and not be happy. Then what's the point of life,
Yep.
right? And what I'm hearing from you as well, Josh, is our value systems basically have dissolved, and
Legit.
something else has replaced it because of this addiction to this money that I term it as we're a cog in the wheel,
Yep.
right? We become a cog in the wheel, and then everybody else has to fit into that so that the wheel keeps turning. And then we
Yep.
don't have enough people being born, so we've got to immigrate people so that we can have the wheel keep turning. So
Why
it just,
don't you have enough people being born?
well, that's the question, right?
Because the ability for you to sustain a family
Yeah,
became financially stable. You
yeah,
couldn't build your family. It wasn't that people were like, oh, I don't want families anymore. It's like, we can only afford to have 1 or 2 kids.
yeah,
We can't have
yeah.
6 kids.
I
That
was
means
saying
that
that to
we're
my
going to be
husband.
absolutely in poverty for the rest of our lives.
Yeah,
Well, you have private hedge funds and bankers and corporate CEOs and all this other stuff making disproportionately massive amount of money over the quality of the people that actually make what they get paid for happen. If it
yeah,
wasn't for those people doing those jobs, what you have wouldn't exist.
yeah. I
If you didn't
agree.
have people buying your products, what you have would not exist. So who should you actually really be showing that respect and that connection to? The people who actually make it exist.
Yeah,
So don't price it out where you're making crazy money. Like if every CEO in every industry took a 25% pay cut, they would still be making way more money than everybody else, and every single
hmm,
product in our country would be more than affordable.
hmm.
More than
Oh,
affordable. Everybody can live
absolutely.
a comfortable life. You have an issue with immigration, then make living affordable for your people.
Yeah. But,
Simple
and
as
there's
that.
no issue with it. But what it does is it becomes unbalanced. There isn't a balance, right? And so for me, I was saying to my husband the other day, I don't understand why there aren't more incentives for people to be able to have children. There used to be some more, and then they took away some, then they give a little bit, then they take away more, and why is that? Like, it doesn't make sense. But this whole societal structure is really, like you say, what drives the economy, the GDP.
Yep. It's the only perspective that they really take into consideration. So when we were going through school and we were talking about projects, so what everybody knows this, the Venn diagram, right? And I really remunerated on that for my project. And I don't believe that the way the Venn diagram is done is actually correct or accurate. So you have your profit, people, and place. And then those circles touch each other, and then the circle goes through the middle of all those circles, and that's all the amount of that is taken into consideration to make your final decision. An actual Venn diagram is like a kaleidoscope that never ever lines up, so it's continuously shifting and changing. The one thing that is a constant is the portion in that circle where we make our major decision is majoritatively taken up by profit. And then we have a little tiny sliver of the circle from place, and then a little tiny sliver from the circle of people. But then we have profit sitting about that much inside of that circle in their main Venn diagram center. It's never equal. They don't take equal consideration into anything that they do. It is 100% based off of their profit. And then the considerations they make after are, who do we have to deal with? Indigenous rights activists, land activists, farmers. We have to deal with all these other people to get exactly what we want. And then you see the campaigns come out, the systems roll out, everything. The story is carbon copy from Rome till now. How they do it, why they do it is the exact same. So money addiction throughout human history has landed us in this spot right now where we have missiles flying in the air, children in hospitals getting blown up and killed, people justifying it, and like seeing the willful hate and love for death and destruction that you see out of Israel and this Zionism ideology and all these other fanatical ideologies that drive people to have power, wealth, so they can control this and that. Look at what you're doing. What positive is being brought to the world? What you're filling our skies with smoke and acid and oil. You're poisoning our oceans, our rivers, our lakes. You're hacking through our forests, our mountains, and our communities. You are all the ones who made the decision to put highly addictive opiates out into the general public from a pharmaceutical standpoint while they were still making billions and billions of dollars. And here we are watching people we love die around us.
And I just want to mention, just, to people who are listening, it's not just Israel, it's the United States, it's Russia, it's Iran, it's Ukraine, it's, this is global. And it's because we other people and our, I think why these wars, I don't know, for me is, I think that when we other people, we don't understand them. And so we can't really live with them because we don't understand them. So we fear them, right? And then it becomes a matter of my survival versus your survival. So, it's a messed up system. I agree, Josh. It's really messed up. And it takes us away, like you say, from community, from family, from connection to self. Like, today, even reconnecting with self is a money-making business.
No, it is. Like literally every single aspect of our society, our social fragmentation can be farmed out to make profit. I try to make every decision in my life not for the betterment of myself, but for the change that I can make in the world. Because I know at the end of the day, when I leave this world, all the money that I've made is inconsequential. It doesn't matter the figure that I've had in my life, how much I have after I'm gone. It doesn't matter. What matters is how much impact did you make on the generations coming up?
And
How are
when
you
you
able to
don't have
give them
shelter, you
skills and
don't have
strength to move
food.
forward?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, like you say, like the Six Nations, I don't know how it is on the reserve. And we can talk about this when we come back, because I cannot believe that we're already halfway through.
Oh, wow.
I know. So, and there's just, been so much that's come out that it's just like, I want to carry on talking about this. So don't go away. Please, we'll be back shortly with more insights from Josh. And if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and we will be right back to carry on this conversation. And hopefully we can even talk about what are the solutions. And I know that we may not get to those right away, because it would take a long time, years and years and years. But I think that at the end of the day, some of us can choose differently.
Oh, yeah. No,
We'll
there's
be right back, and we'll see you in a moment.
Having Courageous Conversations is proudly sponsored by Unity Kitchener. We are a welcoming spiritual community where open dialogue, personal growth, and authentic connection are encouraged. Join us Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern for inspiration, reflection, and meaningful conversation. Learn more at unitykitchener.org. Unity Kitchener, a positive path for spiritual living.
Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought, Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network. Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you. And please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network. Come be you.
Come be you. I love that. So welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And continuing this really passionate conversation, because I think, Josh, I'm just as passionate about it as you.
Absolutely.
I've been following Michael Tellinger in South Africa for many years, and he started a movement about one small town, and it's really about one small town starting to volunteer for different things. If everybody volunteered, even if it was one afternoon a week, and came together with different needs, to basically eventually get off the grid so that the town could support itself.
Yeah, another a key aspect to accomplishing those is 100% being able to have a swath of healthy ecosystem around you. For some reason, humans have it in their head that we have to terraform, we have to change, we have to cut down an entire forest to be able to put up a field to sustain ourselves. The forest already has everything a human being needs to sustain itself inside the forest. It is the habitat for all the food that you eat. It is habitat for all the tools that you use. As from an indigenous perspective, we didn't waste any of that animal. We used every single component of it, not to be, greedy or look at us, we're fancy. It was 100% to honor that animal and to also keep everybody in our community alive. It was never from a place of clout, even throughout our history and our stories. When we talk about the cultural importance of our people, there isn't always names attached to it. Because it wasn't, remember my name, write me down in the book so I become famous. Forget my name, remember my work.
And it's all about community and connection and family.
And if it has actually made an impactful change in society, then your name is irrelevant, because what you brought to this world is still alive.
Yeah.
It's not your name that needs to be there. It's that energy in which you did it.
Yeah.
So it's reconstructing our thoughts and ideologies around what it means for survival, what we actually need to have a healthy system, a healthy society, going the way of skyscrapers and cities and cutting down vast forest sectors to build agriculture and buildings and Amazon warehouses and all these other things that at the end of the day, you can't eat them. Even when we look at European agricultural practices, that's our system is 60% waste. 60% of what we grow is waste. What if it was just...
And there's people starving all over the world.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
So how efficient is it?
Yeah.
How effective is it if we're destroying our ecosystem, throwing our natural world out of balance so that we can have peppers or potatoes or whatever? Then what is the opposite side of that? We're giving up our connection to a healthy system where we could be eating healthy foods that aren't highly processed and chemical filled, genetically modified. If we protected our ecosystems versus protecting our bank accounts, then no one would go hungry. You could literally just walk out, find food. If you understood plants and medicine, you don't have to go to the pharmacy. Every single plant in the world is designed to interact with humans in some way, shape, or form, whether it is a habitat plant that creates space for the things that we do need, or if it's a plant that we ingest for medicine, or if we ingest for food and nutrients. The entire world itself is designed to sustain us. Everything that it does 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week is to keep us alive. It's the only entity in a human being's life that will love you unconditionally your entire existence. You can have spits and spats and spatters with everybody else, but the earth never gives you any guff. It wakes up and does its cycle every single day for you, not just for some president or some owner or some whatever. It's for every single living creature on the planet. That's why in an indigenous perspective, we call them our relatives. And we call them our relatives, whether it's a living thing or an inanimate thing, because everything is connected to earth. Therefore, it is a living thing. Therefore, it's in our house. Therefore, it is one of our relatives.
Right.
It's that broader sense of connection that removes us from that need for addiction to money, addiction to self-fulfillment, that need that we have today, the speed that a person swipes through ads on social media because you only have them for 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds. It's like 3 point whatever seconds, and they're on to the next thing. Like we've filled ourselves with this hustle, this bustle, because we got to get our money. We got to pay our bills. We got to do our thing, that we've removed our ability to even connect with ourselves, stop and say like, whoa, why is such an important thing in my life?
Yeah. And what's life about? What is it all about, right? Not even questioning it.
No, it's I need it, I'm going to get it. And it's the exact same that you would see from somebody who is severely addicted to opioids. They need it. It becomes something that they cannot live without. And then you even see it with people. They go through withdrawals. If they don't have enough money to pay their debts and pay whatever or have a safe place to live in, they degrade. Their health degrades, their mental health degrades. And then we're like, oh, they should get a job. Like, that's going to solve everything. And it's like, that's half of the problem right there, though, because they're going into systems that are supported and built by people who are addicted to money. Every single one of our structures within those corporate worlds is colonially structured. So lion share, guy at the top making all the money, and then it gets piddle down till you're down here on the main
and the gap
level.
just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
And we're gonna nickel and dime you so we can make more money.
So let's talk about, are there any places that you know of that are doing things differently?
Us.
Okay.
So we've completely decolonized the structure of our company. I myself only make the per hour wage that my same lead guide at my level makes for any of my other teammates. We have a tiered system for an apprenticeship that we're developing for people to train and get credentials and skills so they can get up to our level, but then they would make the exact same money as the owner of the company. At this point, not only are we tackling the inequality, so this does not matter gender, race, religious belief system. None of that matters as long as you're a decent human being and you show up and you do the best that you can. Then I don't care who you are, where you're from. You're a decent human being, and I enjoy decent human beings. So at that point in time, the extra money that we make, because there's nobody now taking a massive lion's share of the profits from our organization, that goes directly into providing the best benefits that we can provide, providing pension, the best pensions that we can, remove every single barrier from our employees being able to say, I'm stressed out and I'm this, I don't feel heard. This isn't my job. I don't get paid for that. You all get paid for that. You get paid to show up and be a boss just like me. I'm not making any more or anything. We've created equality straight throughout our system. And by removing those barriers and providing them with good benefits where they need their teeth done, here's your card. Okay, your teeth are done. If you remove all those extra stresses out of an individual's life, you can actually create growth. You can actually create change for people. Having, like, how many people, all right, they have great money. Their benefits only cover, say, 20%. Braces are $8,000 or $6,000 or whatever. And they have to fork over now another $4,000, but hockey season's coming up. So they got to get new equipment. My kid's growing up. I got to get new gloves, new shoulder pads, new pants, new skates, a new helmet. That's another $2,000 right there. Oh, and then the hockey fees, and then all your gas, and then, oh, hey, don't forget that insurance companies have to put their premiums up again this year. And sorry, but so is all your utilities, because, we just need more money. So we got to raise all of your costs of living so that we can still maintain our mansions and our yachts and our planes and our jets and our other stuff. Useless, unnecessary stuff. We put it back to our people. They no longer have to stress about those things. Right. Because when you have all of those extra added stressors, it takes away from a person's ability to show up and actually do their job. And that's what companies want. Well, why aren't you showing up here and giving me your best every day? Because I'm stressing out over this, this, and this in my life.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a time where there's more people depressed and on medication on this planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Than now.
What hope do they have?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if I were starting out right now, there's no way in heck that I would be able to buy a house.
Yeah.
Where am I going to live?
Yeah.
If I didn't buy my house and do what I did at the time periods that I did it, when it was way more affordable, then absolutely, it would be infeasible for me to do it.
Yeah. And that's why we also have such high suicidal rates.
Exactly. What hope have we given our society, our people, the people who make everything that we use, wear, eat, drink, literally every single aspect of our existence? We go out to a restaurant. It's a person working in that kitchen, slaving and slugging away, barely able to cover ends meet so that we can have that wonderful experience. It's the servers there who, in some instances, percentages of their tips get taken by the companies that they work for, because for some reason the company's like, oh, hey, some more of your hard work here, let me put it into my pocket because I deserve it.
So I hear
It's
you.
kind of
And I think what you're doing
behavior.
with 7Gs is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. A great example. Do you know any other companies? Are there ways to encourage people to do the same, to expand this kind of consciousness?
Well, it's definitely not out of spite that I did this, but it was 100% to show that going through and operating under a completely different model can create the change that we actually do need. And I can show that I too, by doing it as the owner, can still be very successful and live a very purpose-filled life. I can make sure that all my bills are paid. If I want to go on vacation with my family, I can do that. I've put myself in a position where we're all making good money. Everybody at the table is respected and heard. Our team meetings are usually held in the forest or in one of our homes. We never meet in like an office capacity because we want that connection. We're not here just because I want a bigger house and you guys have to work for me and you have to listen and do things how I say and do them. No, you're a collective of people with incredible skills and knowledge. I've recognized this through my career as a tradesperson. You can have apprentices show up day one, start a job that you've done 10, 15 times already, 100 times, depending on how long you've been doing it. And then they say, hey, well, why don't you try this? And you sit there for a second. Some people won't even sit there and think for a second. They'll just be like, shut up. This is just how it's always been done. And you stick to status quo. But if you actually listen and you think about what they just said and you're like, hey, you know what? That's a really good idea. Go grab what we need. Let's see if we can make it happen. And then lo and behold, it works. Man, that was incredible. That was a great idea, dude. It would be. You've just made that person feel more validated and valued than any other time in their life. They came up, they showed someone who is supposed to be teaching them how to do something. And that's the beautiful thing about life. We learn from different things. We see things differently. So all perspectives have to be brought to the table so that we can make a good decision moving forward. It can't just be from one person's perspective.
And I think that what you've also hit on is that people need to feel valued. They need to feel seen. We as people, we need to feel valued. We need to feel seen. We need to feel heard. We need to feel that we make a difference somehow, wherever we are. I mean, I think that's human nature as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of humans' natural prime drivers, love, communication, relationships. We crave it. We all want it. The fact even that we have to build them off of financial decisions that we're making for ourselves so we can become profitable or secure in our position or get to where we want to be in financial stability or education or position and title. You are actually not building positive because it's conditional at that point.
It's contractual.
Exactly. We need to build those relationships that are unconditional. When you meet someone and you say like, wow, this is a really wonderful person. And then you talk to them a little bit more and you're like, hey, you know what? This is a great human being. I really enjoy talking with them. I like what they say. I like how they care for people around them and are respectful. I really enjoy this person, so I'm going to spend more time doing it. So that's the environment that we want to create, and that's kind of the environment that you need to create to move your organization from one of a money-addicted or a colonial structured system.
Now, I also see that your company has already supported the construction of a new longhouse. So it goes further because now you're going into the community with doing things, right?
Absolutely. That was one of the best construction projects I've ever worked on in my entire life. The environment and the space in which it was built, every single day we showed up, it was laughter, it was friendship, it was support. There was never, ever a person who was just sitting there struggling on their own. If someone started doing something, someone else would walk in and start helping you. There was no need to like beg people to help. There was nobody saying, well, like, I don't get paid for that, so that's not my job title. No, it was, we're all here to do this and let's get it, guys. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And now, because I've made this decision based off of what kind of change can I make in my community over money that I was bringing in for my company. Now I'm actually a part of something that's going to stand there for generations to come, so that when people walk into that longhouse, they feel the love that it was built with.
Right.
That is far more reaching and empowering and loving than any dollar figure I could possibly make on this planet. It doesn't matter how many jets I own or a yacht of whatever size. It is completely inconsequential when possibly what I've done can change the trajectory in a youth in my community's life, or a friend or a person in my community's life, or somebody else who's walking through there and carrying things where they can make better decisions and say, like, this was built from nature. This was built from love. This was built for protection and safety and acceptance. When you were in that longhouse, you were amongst your people.
Right.
Every issue we had, every conversation, everything within our society, top down, our children stayed there with our elders and our aunties and our grandmothers, and they would be running around in there while the men were out doing the work and the women were out doing their work, and our whole society working together to make sure everybody is full.
Beautiful.
To make sure everybody has medicine.
Yeah.
And we would conversate and we would talk. So what better example out there exists for a dwelling that does that? There was no drinking in there. There was no partying. There was none of these things negative things that we would fill. You can fill your life with to deal with things of unhappiness, because every morning you woke up, you had fulfillment. You were doing something for more than yourself.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Every day you were surrounded by people you loved, your brothers, your cousins, your uncles, your nephews, your nieces, your aunties, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, and everything that you did carries the spirit of your ancestors forward with you.
Yeah.
There is no more beautiful way to live for humans than that.
So you're saying that it brought the community together, that they came in and helped as well?
Yeah, we had some students come in from the OSTTC land construction program, and they came out and helped us for a day. We've had some other people come out and do some tours as we were building, but predominantly it was myself, 7G Explorations, and GWB Construction. And our two companies came together to make it happen. And GWB was just an absolute wonder to work with. Excellent group of people. Matt Haven Construction was another outside organization that we brought in to do all of our landscaping and excavating work, and just wonderful team of guys from there as well. So like literally every level that we had throughout that entire project was nothing but great conversations, good energy, and what humans need to move forward.
Yeah.
So what's next? I know that you've developed 4 new ecotourism packages in partnership with Six Nations Tourism.
Yep.
And that you want to continue to develop unique specialized programming to connect people with our planet. So what's next?
Oh, wow. So right now we're just trying to get things going. So because we are starting 100% grassroots, because there are no grants available for Indigenous owned sole proprietorship for profit. They want you to be not for profit, because then you have to structure yourself colonially, and that is 100% no go for me. It's 100% against everything that I'm trying to do with my life. So we still choose to do it on our own. So with no grants, no funding, we started this with 200 feet of rope and just knowledge on how to do stuff. So we are in the school systems now. We are continuing to work in our tourism sector. We are also members of the Ontario Motor Coach Association of Canada. So hopefully being able to bring tourists in from surrounding cities and populations to learn more about the Six Nations and the Haudenosaunee people, and the earth, learn about our planet, the environment that they live in.
That's your dog playing in the background. I can hear.
He found the football. Yeah, I tried to hide it on him, and he found it, and now he's going to Squeak Town. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, so we're continuing to work to develop our packages. We are working with Point Grandine and with Wikwemikong to develop a Park Guardian program. And then also at that point, we're going to be developing a pool of guides from our communities surrounding. So all First Nations communities, we're going to be able to bring people in, do some training with them. And then we have contacts with different tourist locations throughout Canada. And when they come to their tourism season and they need guides, they can hire from our guide pool. So that First Nation individual will then go and start seeing different parts of the world, developing their perspective, getting away from the toxic cycles that can exist within reserve communities due to intergenerational trauma, acceptance, the judgment, the hatred, and the racism that comes along with colonialism and being stuck in a system that governs you by that structure. Really take them out and find their power, give them the skills so that when they show up, they're like, hey, I do know how to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I can paddle this far. Hey, I know I can climb this mountain, navigate to here. Oh, you need that done? I got your fire started. So they have all of these skills where it's just literally their hands, their intuitivity, skills passed down to them in the exact same manner that our ancestors passed down our skills and knowledge in person, one-on-one, in a healthy, respectful environment. Nobody's sitting there going, oh, geez, you're stupid. When you get into the trades and you see apprentices getting trained, they're not treated in the greatest manner possible. They're not respected and given human decency. They're kind of treated like crap. And they get talked down to and yelled at and stuff. So to get away from all of that and keep ourselves as decolonized as possible, our environment is one of safety. It is one of love. It's one of acceptance. It is one of us just willing to share with you what we know so you can grow and then go and do what you want to do. Be a part of us, go guide out here, go backcountry camping on your own, do whatever, but you now have the skills and the confidence to do it. So it's really empowering people so that they realize that addiction to money doesn't have to be a decision that I make. Addiction to drugs isn't a decision that I have to make. Addiction to alcohol isn't a decision that I have to make. I have all of these skills that nobody can ever take away from me because they are mine.
I have skills and I have connections with these people, right? I'm connected now. I have support. You know, there's so much that's going on there. And it really heartens me that you are doing so much and it's spreading. You're taking it into the schools. You're making this possible in different areas for different people. And the tourism, I mean, some might be cynical about that, but I think what you're saying is that's for educational purposes.
Oh, yeah. When you come to learn with us, like you're doing skill development, you're learning about ecology, learning about why ecosystems, our connection to the land were so important to the Haudenosaunee people. Our connection to the land is literally the governing connection to everything who we are, our language and how we speak, our ceremonial practices, the times that we practice them, our celestial bodies and the stories that we have surrounding them. Everything is connected back to the earth. When it's behaving, when it's time for us to hunt, when it's time for New Year, literally every single aspect of our culture, our clan systems are based off of the animals that exist within our ecosystems. Everything about Haudenosaunee people and Indigenous people here in Turtle Island are based on our pure love and connection that we have for the home that we live in. We never lived off of the land, we lived with it. So any of these experiences are designed to bring people connection to themselves, to each other, learn more about these Indigenous cultures and customs, find safe space to be able to ask the questions that they may be too afraid to ask to an Indigenous person in the public, where they know they're with someone who's not going to answer back out of anger, but answer back out of love.
Beautiful. And what a way to end the show. A great way to do that. So I want to say thank you so much. And thank you to those who have joined us for the conversation. I'm just so grateful, Josh, for your passion, for your willingness. This is the second time you've been on the show. And I look forward to hearing more and seeing more from what comes out of it in the future. I think you're making a big difference to the planet, which is what your intention is to do, right? It's to leave that energy behind, that you have achieved something and you have made a difference to your community. So thank you so much for joining us. We've come to the end of the show. So.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Cheryl. It's always a pleasure to join you. I absolutely love this. So anytime you want me back, I'm more than happy to participate.
Wonderful. Thank you. So please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye.